So my name is Budi. I'm coming from Indonesia. About SSR, my involvement in SR is in the beginning of the SR development, back to 20 years ago maybe. So now I'm as call it a coordinator to organize SR in Indonesia. Now Indonesia is SR developed in almost in all provinces. And in the national number, if I can say to you, is about more than 1 million hectares. SRR, practiced by people all around Indonesia. And of course, there is some government program on SSR, but also there is some private sectors, practitioners that also develop SSR. With I cannot count how many because it's maybe too many. Of course, I also work with one of them that we call Nusantara Organic SR Center. That is the main what is called the developer or institution that do training, disseminations to the farmers, beginning with the SRR, also to the farmer who want to change from the traditional conventional way to SRI, because we know that SRR is becoming famous in Indonesia because the price of the organic rice I think is much more interested for the farmers. And now I'm also I have another job in the Ministry of Agriculture as advisor to the minister for infrastructure development. And one of the important thing in SSR is how we can manage water, how we can manage water in the right proportions. SRR needs water regime is not saturated or flooding, so it means that we have to manage or to control the water. Subject to any changes of the climate or weather situation, including rainfalls. So in this water management, I also do have some research and also modify the traditional SNR to be easily adopted by the farmers, because SRI need intensive worker, and it's very difficult to manage the water, including seedling, including what is called control the what is called weeds, weeds. So we have to improve these techniques with introduce some machineries, simple machineries.
So if you say 1 million hectares, how much land does that represent from all the rice farming in Indonesia?
Well, we have about 12 billion hectares planted by rice in 1 year. So it's about it's not it's still less than 10%. I think it's not, but it is mostly planted in the area that is not easy to get active, what is called fertilizer,
Right.
Fertilizer. We also have some the wide area, mostly in Kalimantan Island and also in Sumatra Islands, and we have still big fresh island that we call wetland. Wetland is a lot of water. So in its region, there's there's many less people, less farmers, and the land and soil is still fertile, still not applied by the unorganic fertilizer, also pesticide. So it's already organic naturally. So it's very easy to introduce the organic rice or organic cultivation
Right.
and that area.
So you think the potential for SRI in Indonesia, where do you see it, the potential?
Yeah, we still have
It's organic
a lot
farming.
of land still uncultivated, and we need, of course, human resources, but also we need technology to come up with the SRI. Okay? So we also develop some machinery that can use as direct seedling, direct seedling. So we don't use a transplanter, because transplanter need seed emergency. It's not quite easy to do by the farmers. So we use mostly direct seedling, and also we select the good quality of the seed with the SRI technique. Okay,
Right.
that is the important one. And also we have to change. We have to change the method of SRI that we already know until this time, when we deal with the broad area, the vast areas of the land.
Right.
Yeah. In example, now we also develop machine that can contract what we call the mold drain in the wetland. Mold drain is a subsurface drain that can draw water and can control the water level of the level of the water, the groundwater levels, and of course we use some pumping techniques.
So if you see a potential for SRI, especially in the organic rice farming, what would you think you're achieved a good level of implementation, or you think there still need to go further and for the scaling up, and what should happen so that you would actually benefit from the practice?
So we now in the phase of scaling up the SRI, because the market for organic rice very interesting. I think there's big market, not only in big cities, also there's some foreign cities just like Singapore, Malaysia, and other countries. Even they have also some order, to deliver to them the rice, organic rice, as they really want to have this kind of price. The variety is it's really we have to match with the order, the demand from the consumer. So I think the market is already there, but our problem, in our side, is to deal with this market, okay? Because farmer themselves, I think, can do by their own, because they have some limitation. So we need some, intermediates. That's why we call the people or the enterprise or company who has some experience in dealing with the markets. So just like we have in South Kalimantan, just 2 months ago we harvested for 4 times organic rice. I think for 1,000 hectares is very big, what is called products, and it's a little bit remote area, so we have to bring all this harvested rice to the city, to the process city. So we need the intermediate, with some experience in transportation. So that is the bottleneck. I think if the market there, as the people who take this to handling this market there, and transportation, of course there is some infrastructure problem in our countries, but I think it's not so quite constraint, it's not quite a problem. But again, if there is some market, then the farmer, I think, will do as they like to expand their rice. So the problem, I think, is the market. Now we have some what is called collaboration with Malaysia, our border countries. Some part of Indonesia, which is close to our neighborhood, has plenty of large area of land. So if the market, I think, is already there, but again we have to have some people, some intermediate who can do this negotiation. And the government, I think, is still every year, 100,000 hectare mostly, I think, is program.
Okay.
But it's not all is successful, but maybe 20%, 50% is successful, because it depends on the farmer. The farmer can just ask the government to get support from the government if they want to have SRI developed in their own area. This all about SRI.
Okay, thank you.
You have
Thank
some
you,
other
Budi.
question?
Thanks
Just
so
get
much.
it right up.